So that was a cold opening.
Ah,
Are you really?
I gotcha.
Oh, okay. 'Cause I put no energy into that whole conversation.
I
What,
didn't.
what, what point did you start recording?
Uh, Only 3 minutes ago when you asked me about how I would do money laundering. So
Ah, okay, what an opening with money laundering.
so we can get you on tape confessing.
Jay's like, as soon as we started talking illegal, I hit record.
Jay's like, as soon as I had something to confess, I turned on the
well,
recorder.
I mean, I'll use this as my defense because I clearly don't know how to money launder.
The worst mafia accountant ever.
Right.
The
It's like
answer to that question of how much would it take to get you to money launder should have been a lot because I don't know how to do it.
yeah, that too. I mean, I basically said all I know is from Ozark and Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's probably not going to
Jay's
hold
like,
up for the
okay,
prosecution.
$1 million a year to do it. Okay, I got the million. Now who's gonna train me? 'Cause I really have no idea how to do this stuff, guys.
Right. Yeah. Who's training me and who's cooking the meth? Because that's apparently that's part of it too.
So what's going on, guys?
I went to the movies, an actual movie
Oh,
theater. I'm back.
wow, that's people have been doing that for a little while. But let me guess. Can I guess the movie you saw?
I'm sure you could guess.
Okay.
I
We're
don't even-
Bri, we're in agreement. It's got to be the Wolverine Deadpool.
I don't even know what's out.
It's the Wolverine Deadpool movie, right?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's got to be a cartoon.
No, it was Deadpool
Oh,
Wolverine.
alright.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Actually, Jay's the last person to go in person to see an erotic movie.
I'm just very
There's
anti.
like one left.
I was very anti movie theater because I had a couple bad experiences at people talking or being on their phones or kicking seats and stuff.
Okay.
Alamo Draft House, their whole thing is don't do any of that. You have a button on your seat where you can like tell on people. So like everybody's very well behaved. It's got
You
re-
can tell on people.
well, what it is, it's kind of like it's
Calls
got
the usher?
it's got recliner seats, and you
Yeah.
can order. It's got a full food and beverage menu, like alcoholic
cool.
and stuff. And so you can write down what you want on a piece of paper and push a button, and they come over and take the piece of paper.
Oh, okay.
and,
That's
and
good
they
for-
take your order. But they also said during like the movie thing, like if somebody's being rude, just like write it on the paper and push the order button, and we'll take it like an order, and then we'll like kick those people out.
Oh, okay. Did you actually use it?
I didn't need to. Everyone was like, I didn't. Nobody took out their phone the entire movie. Nobody talked. Like
It
was
should be like the button shocks somebody else in the theater.
right. Just an
It should
ejector
just be like
seat.
a big game of chicken. Like
It's
someone's
an,
acting up. If you push the button, somebody's gonna get a zap.
no.
You
It's
don't
an
know who it is.
it's an ejector seat right through the roof.
Wouldn't it be great if Jay just used it anyway? He just wrote down like he's like this person's being rude, and like what did he do? I don't know. He's just being kind of fat in front of me.
Jay would be like, "Can you give that girl my number?"
So yeah, I mean the price wasn't that bad. The
How much was the movie?
It's like $16.
Oh,
You got a
guess it's
full
fine,
recliner
yeah.
seat. You got your legs straight out, and the rows are so wide that people can still walk past you without bumping into the seat.
My
There's a
theater's
place
like that.
near us that has not the food ordering part, but like the Barker Lounger thing, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I got like a really good burger. I got a margarita. I'm back.
Not bad.
I could get used to that.
So you're gonna be a moviegoer from now on?
I was actually. I asked them about the season pass. I was so into
The
it.
season pass?
Yeah, it's $20 a month, unlimited movies. So like you go to like 2 movies, and everything else is like basically free.
Doesn't America only put out 2 good movies a year now?
I feel like there's a lot of good movies coming out. I want to see the new Alien movie. There's a new Beetlejuice movie coming out.
So Jay went from being like, I hate going to the movies. I'm not gonna ever go to the movie. Can I get a subscription? I want to be here every day.
You know, it's funny. I go to the movie theater every day at lunch to charge my car. There's a charger in the parking lot behind it, and every day I pull in and I'm like, "Holy shit, the movie theater's packed today! Like, what is playing?" And I just sit there for like an hour, and one of these days I'm just gonna go in and get popcorn because I'm just like, I can't believe I've been here every day for like 6 weeks, and I haven't gotten any popcorn.
At that terrible job I worked at, it was about 2 blocks away from a movie theater, and one of my coworkers actually went and saw Black Panther during the work shift. He was just gone for like 3 hours.
Jay, remember we worked in
You've
the
been
movie
gone
theater?
all day. There was a lot of previews, like it was a good movie. I had to stay through the credits.
Jay and I worked at a movie theater. It was one of the most fun jobs we ever had.
Yeah, it was great. It was I've had 20, 30 jobs in my life. It was
Yeah.
one of two that I needed to get drug tested for.
That was fun.
Yeah.
That was
That's a
funny.
weird job to have to get drug tested for when, like, for the most part, you need to be on drugs to do the job.
Yeah.
I also had like opium, weed, shrooms, and ecstasy in my system, and
Jay bought one of those kits to try to pass,
yeah,
and he comes out of the bathroom with his cup, and his cup just looked like Gatorade.
it was like
He had this-
neon
He had this
green.
look on his face, like, yeah, I'm so fucked.
I went to GNC and I said I need to pass a drug test, and the guy had it right under the counter. He's like, "Yeah, take 4 of these pills with like a gallon of water an hour before the test," and they were like green pills. So when I peed, it was neon green. I came out with a cup.
Gatorade. He just came out and he was just like, I'm fucked.
I came out and
he's-
I said something about Gatorade, and Bri like falls on the ground laughing. Like, way to blow my cover, Bri.
Is it fair to say GNC 90% of their business is people trying to pass drug tests?
Probably.
Yeah.
Like, do they sell anything else? Like,
The
once in a
GNC
while, they're
was-
like some vitamin C, but okay, you're taking a drug test, right? That's for
Are
the
they even
drug
still
test.
open? Are they even a thing?
I don't know. I haven't seen one in forever.
Yeah.
Them and Vitamin Shop, Vitamin
Yeah.
Shop
Shop
Yeah.
pay.
Shop Pay.
Yeah,
I mean,
they,
I haven't been to a mall in like 10 years, so I don't know if they're still there.
You're not missing anything out by not going to a mall.
No.
Malls are horrible.
Brian and I's entire goal was to be able to work the front of the movie theater where you like take people's tickets because you get the little speaker thing out into the street.
It was this awesome theater. It's not there anymore. I mean, the building is there, but it's not a movie theater. It was like it was in Boston. So it was like a condensed building. The lobby was on the main street level, and then you go down, or no, the entrance is on the street level, and you go down. The lobby was downstairs, and there was like the concessions and everything.
Yeah.
But where the tickets were was on the street level. It was like its own little booth, like we were locked in, and it was like a bank. Like we had a window and like a thing that comes out and a microphone, and we would. So we get really busy, like when a movie starts, and then you'd have 2 hours of nothing to do because there were no movies, and Jay and I would just scream into the microphone at people walking by.
No, they never let me do it. I never once was allowed
No,
to.
I did it a couple times. Although one time I drank so much soda that I had to pee, and I almost pissed in the booth because I, like 5 seconds later, if somebody didn't come to relieve me, I would have peed all over the floor.
I think they knew somehow, don't put these two guys together on the same shift. Because
And we weren't even the craziest people that worked there. There was some like truly like psychopaths that worked there.
yeah, but they put me as far away from you as possible. So I had to go and do like cleanup duty after the movies. So
Yeah.
I basically just watched Chicken Run over and over and over all day, and then cleaned up for 5 minutes after.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good job. And then we got all the hot dogs after we left.
Yeah, at the end of the night, you just get to take whatever you want home: hot dogs, popcorn. We
I
showed up at a party.
imagine a lot of popcorn left over.
We showed up at a party with like 24 hot dogs.
Yeah, it was like a keg party. We're like, who wants 20 something hot dogs?
We've got 30 pounds of popcorn for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we brought a sack of hot dogs to the radio station, and we were like, first caller gets a free hot dog, and like that was the one day like nobody called.
First caller gets $1 million. Holy shit, no one's calling.
Almost every show.
So yeah, I'm back. I'm a moviegoer again.
All
Okay.
right, welcome back.
I have to
Welcome
say-
to society.
When COVID first hit and we were all locked out of those things, I was like, I don't care about going to a movie. And then, like, the first movie I went back to, I was like, oh, this is actually so much fun going to the movies.
Yeah.
If you have an Alamo Draft House, that's the one I went to. It's a chain. It's really good.
Jay's the show's actually sponsored by Alamo Draft House. They just don't know it yet. Jay's gonna send them a bill.
Yeah, the one by me has a pass too. It's AMC. I think there's a monthly thing or something.
You remember they had that? So what is the pass? Is it $20 a month?
Yeah.
That's actually pretty good. I guess like they make it up for the fact that you are buying so much food every time you go that like they make the money on it.
Yeah, because I mean, I bought a burger, fries, and a margarita. So like,
That must have cost you like $100.
the food actually wasn't that bad. It was like 15 for the burger and fries, which like isn't that crazy.
All right.
And
Because they're losing money on the movie. Because $20 a month, like each movie's like you pay $16 for a movie. So like
They don't figure anybody's bored enough to go more than twice. So unless you get like a retiree with nothing to do.
Well, they figure even if you go like 10 times, every time you go, you're probably buying a burger
Right.
or something else. Like they're
Right,
making
right.
money off the food and
Yeah.
the drinks.
yeah, Yeah, I mean,
Remember
they're
there was
hoping you're buying popcorn and a soda because those are the two things that
Yeah.
cost them like nothing.
Do you guys remember the Movie Pass company?
Yeah.
Where it was like $10 for all the movies you can see in a month,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
they basically they just lost tons of money until they were out of money.
That's
Like, they
basically
never
what
had, like,
Netflix was for DVDs.
Yeah, but this was like going to
Yeah.
the movies.
No,
and
I
so-
remember. I remember.
and I think what they did was they gave you like a debit card basically. So the second time you went to a movie, they were losing money, and every time you went to a movie that month, they were just like drowning in debt.
Yeah.
But this was like a venture capital idea.
Yeah.
I don't get what the end game was though, because there was no like we'll get out of the red eventually. It was just we're gonna pay for you to go to the movies, and this is our business.
It's like the new Silicon Valley. Like they're like, okay, for $10 a month, you can go to whatever restaurant you want as many times as you want, and we'll just keep paying for that.
Right? Like, how did they even get investors for that? Like, what's your business plan? We're gonna pay for whoever wants to go to the movies. We're just gonna pay for them to do it.
For $50 a month, we pay your rent.
Yeah.
But
I
we know
think-
there's a lot of shitty movies out, and no one's gonna go.
I think the idea was they thought people wouldn't use it as much as and people used it like religiously. People want a ton, so they got all the heavy movie users. And then
Yeah,
the other
'cause-
point was like, they thought they'd collect all this valuable data, and they could sell that data.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all the data said was the people that bought the cards went to the movie. I don't know what else they were
Yeah, they're like,
figuring out. Wow, that's not.
this said
maybe
Mark, who
they-
bought a movie pass, likes movies. Can I have money now?
Well, then they said like, well, you know what, UA or whatever movie theater, we're sending all these customers to you, so we should get a portion of your of the food money. That was the idea. But all the movie theaters were like, no, we don't even want to do any business with you guys, actually.
Right. It's
Yeah.
like,
Because I think all the movie theaters were like, this is too cheap. You guys are gonna go bankrupt, and then all the customers are gonna demand this anyway.
Yeah.
So we don't like your business.
Yeah.
yeah, didn't they ban movie pass at one of the
A lot them
chains?
banned it, but then they would just give them a card and you'd pay with like a debit card, so like they couldn't tell you were using it.
So this
Well, they also used to have those passes that you could buy. This is like before Movie Pass. Like you could buy, it was like $25 and you get like a booklet of coupons to like go to the movies,
Mhm.
but you couldn't see a movie within like the first like 3 weeks it was out. Because if you remember, like in the old days, like when they would like
Yeah.
advertise the movie, they had no passes
Mhm.
because you could buy these passes and go see the movies for free, but the new ones you couldn't go for like a month. I remember like it was in like the school coupon book or something that we had to sell, and
Right.
we bought like a pack of them or something, and it was like you could go on like a Tuesday night to see a movie that came out like in June, and that was about it.
Right. It was like, 90% of the movies you want to see, you
Yeah.
can't see.
That's like the opposite of Movie Pass, where they pulled the fast one on us.
Right.
The Movie Pass, the other thing, we pulled the fast one on them because we just went
Listen.
every movie. I think that's probably what started people going to see movies during the week, because you're like, oh, it's Wednesday night. What am I gonna do? There's
They're,
nothing else.
they're
I'm
like,
gonna
listen,
go to the
you
movie.
can't see the movie in the first 3 weeks, but anytime Horror Picture Show is going, this coupon's gonna be good for it.
I just love how MoviePass didn't ask the movie theaters about their only actual revenue stream before they launched the entire business.
Right.
And
It
then
was
they're
one
like,
of those
"Oh,
things,
shit."
Like, they just want to like break we're just gonna change the industry, like, and just gonna break things, and then they're gonna be forced to use us. I mean, it's crazy. Like, they went through like maybe 100, 200, 300 million dollars. We could really like. Can you imagine they just give the money to Brink and Sanity? We could also lose that money, but at a slower pace.
I mean, if you give us 20,000, we have a board game ready to go.
Give
we
us
could lose it
$100
pretty
million.
fast, Mark. I mean, give us a little credit. We could piss that away pretty fast.
We could probably like every time you listen to the show, you get $1,000. What's the end game? I don't know. We'll sell data on the idiots that listen.
We'll do a podcast from the Brink blimp.
The end game is we got rid of somebody's money for them.
People go on TikTok though. They're like, "Oh, now I don't even work anymore. All I have to do is listen to this show, Brink of Sanity. They send me money. I'm sure this will continue on indefinitely."
Well, that was like at the beginning of the year. We were doing that fishbowl site, and
yeah,
it was like a social like LinkedIn type of thing, and they were paying us to post. And I was like, "But how are you making? There's like no ads on the app. Like, how are you making money?"
For people if people haven't used Fishbowl, it's not huge. It was basically like a Reddit for
LinkedIn.
for the LinkedIn crowd, basically.
Yeah.
Like Reddit for business. You go on there, you talk anonymously about work, basically. And so Glassdoor bought it at some point, and then they wanted to generate people on the site, so they basically started paying a lot of people to post on the site. Jay and I were people that were like paid on there to post, and I was getting us like at the like every time you like would hit like certain like targets, you get more money each week. by the end I was getting like close to $200 a week, and then they fired me.
That's a good money. I never got anywhere close to that.
Wow,
It was
yeah,
pretty good. Every week I was getting like $200. It was great.
I was
Like,
getting
they
like
pay you-
40.
Oh, I was like, oh, this is nice getting $200 a week, and I mean, not the craziest money, obviously, but it was like nice extra spending money.
Well, my problem is when I joined, each group is called like a fishbowl. So I joined a few random bowls. Most of them were tax and accounting, but I joined
Really
one.
exciting stuff.
Yeah, but I joined one that was social media marketing, and they made me the paid poster for that. And I don't know anything about social media marketing. I joined that one to like learn stuff, and they're like, "Yeah, you're the bowl master. You know, lead the conversation." And so like, I came up with like a post a day, but it was also a dead. They gave it to me because there wasn't a lot of activity, and you
I'd go
get
on there
paid.
and comment on Jay's post, and then when Jay and I would just be having a discussion back and forth on that.
Right, because you got paid by the comments too, and I was like, well, I'm posting and nobody's replying, and so I'm not commenting, so I wasn't getting like the full payout, but it was still
But
fun.
I'm in recruiting, so I was posting in a recruiting bowl, which is job stuff, search stuff. It's easier to have like a conversation on, and like they say when they at some point they fire you, they say like your bowl is now super active, so we just don't need you anymore. But I think I posted once. It was like December, and like people get bonuses in December. So I was like, hey, what are people doing with their bonuses? And I got like a warning letter from them that was too off topic, and I need to focus more on recruiting topics. So I was like, okay, this is great.
Yeah, that was interesting. So I got the fishbowl thing ended. I got laid off, and I lost the restaurant accounting job all within like 7 days. I was
like, Jay, I lost my fishbowl job, and Jay's like, I lost my regular job. Shut the fuck up.
not many people could lose 3 jobs in 7 days, so I'll consider
See,
that.
that would have been a good time to get the movie pass, and then you could lots of time to go to the movies.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They should not. With unemployment, they should give you a movie pass.
They should.
How great would that be? They're like, yeah, I mean, the unemployed are at least a little happier now.
Yeah.
So I need a new side hustle. I got a side hustle for you guys.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, you guys have been to. I don't know if you've been to New York City recently, but they probably have this in other cities also. But I see when I walk around New York City, I'll oftentimes see people selling cut up mango and watermelon.
Yeah.
You guys seen this?
Yeah.
Right.
No. I mean, last time I was in New York was in the winter. I don't think they're going to do it then, but go on.
Okay. It's usually people who are probably illegal
Insane.
immigrants. I'm guessing this job is not for if you could work a regular job, you probably don't do this job.
Okay.
But they're not like asking for money. They're selling. I don't know where they get a good supply of watermelon, mango, and these people are all over. So,
Jay, paying attention in case you lose all your jobs again.
I'm taking notes.
well, we were driving on the FDR. You guys know the FDR? It's like a highway. It's like
Is he a president?
Yeah, he was a president.
Okay.
Basically,
In a wheelchair.
Yes. If you have been to Manhattan, or if you've not been to Manhattan, the FDR is basically the highway next to Manhattan.
It goes around Manhattan.
It goes around Manhattan, basically.
Okay.
There's like the Henry Hudson Parkway and the FDR. So I saw people selling the cut up watermelon and mango on the FDR. And I don't mean first of all, I don't mean the side of the FDR. I mean in the yellow lines, in between cars, just standing there selling it.
Wasn't that usually like a big parking lot? I remember.
It goes slow. There's usually a lot of traffic. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I came home from New Jersey like a year or so ago, and I was on, I don't know if it was the FDR, one of those highways, and it was just a parking lot for like an hour, and there was guys in the middle of the road selling bottles of water.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying people are driving 60 miles per hour. I mean,
Right,
you
yeah.
could obviously, but like, I mean, that would be great. You're like,
No, I mean,
shit,
if those are
fucking
immigrants,
get the mango
they would not
person
be-
again.
Yeah, no.
But there's, I mean, you still are moving kind of. People are standing in the middle of traffic selling mango. First of all, if the guy in front of me stops to buy the fucking mango, I'm gonna fucking lose my mind. Like, I'm sitting here in traffic because you're fucking have to buy some fruit.
That would be aggravating. Yeah.
Sometimes
So
it is
yeah,
not
do that?
moving though.
But there were a lot of people selling mango and watermelon. First of all, I'm like, I don't feel like doing a financial transaction while I'm driving my fucking car. Also,
Yeah,
you
who
guys,
wants to then eat watermelon in the car?
I mean, is there not? First of all, you assume these
Shit's
people.
sticky.
How much money could they fucking be making selling watermelon and mango on the street on the FDR?
I
How
mean,
much money can you be making?
if they're immigrants, it's probably laced with fentanyl, right?
I mean, I guess I'd pay more for that. I guess.
Yeah, well,
At least that'd be worth it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like, how much money can you? How much? How much can you make more than Fishbowl selling fucking watermelon on the street?
Yeah, I can't imagine they're making more than $5 to $10 a day.
Are you
right?
even making enough to buy a watermelon?
I don't know. Can you? Or really? Like, I'm like, I looked on the side as there were a couple people on the side cutting it up, and then like, I'm like, are you even generating a profit standing there? Plus, you have to pay funeral expenses every time someone gets hit.
Jay, why don't you why don't you go down there and see if you could be their accountant and find out where the money comes from?
Jay,
See,
can you launder their watermelon?
They have figured out money laundering, and that's why they're doing it. It's cartel people, and they're
Oh.
laundering it through the mango watermelon business.
And then like a half a mile up, there's like a dude and like there's one or two guys standing in traffic. They're just homeless guys with signs that say I'm homeless, that whatever I am, give me money. Is it wrong to tell them like, hey, instead of a sign, you could be selling mango?
Why don't you just buy a mango and then a few feet further give the homeless people the mango?
Yeah,
I
or why
was
don't
like,
you just tackle the homeless people and take their money?
I'm like, if I'm
The
gonna
mango
if I'm
people,
also-
I mean.
if I'm gonna give people money, at least I get a mango out of it. Like I was like,
Yeah.
yo, homeless guy. I know it's
Yeah.
hard to get a regular job without an address.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain
Yeah.
the requirements for the mango selling job are not very stringent. I bet if you're just saying I'm willing to stand in traffic,
You know what you should do,
get
Mark?
the job.
You know what you should do the next time is pass the mango people, get to the homeless, get to the free people who want anything. Stop, back your car up, hold a
I
dollar
don't think
out
you
the
can back
window,
your car up in the
and
FDR.
back up to the mango people and give the dollar to the mango people and say, "This is how you do it."
I
There you go.
wanted to give the I wanted to ask the and like, hey, mango watermelon people, can I have a job application? There's a homeless guy coming up. I'm just gonna give him a job application.
Andrew said Mark would be all for this if they were selling black beans.
That would be pretty cool.
Black what?
Black beans.
Oh, black bean. Not sure I knew what you said. But
You're like, I heard the
But Brian's
first
like,
word.
Did he just say black people?
Are we about to get canceled?
Someone would have to listen besides Andrew. They get canceled. But yeah, the
so have you tried it yet? You haven't tried it then.
no. Who were you giving the money to? The homeless vet who's just holding a sign, or I guess the illegal immigrant who's selling watermelon mango? Who are you giving the money to?
Well, my first question to the immigrant is, are you registered to vote?
And
And
the
depending on
immigrant's going
that
to be
answer,
like,
maybe they'll get a couple of bucks.
the immigrant's going to be like, it doesn't matter. I just walk in and vote. So I'm giving my money to the
And now,
immigrant.
is the immigrant JD Vance's wife?
Oh, we're getting political, aren't we now? I love you guys.
So,
This is why-
yeah, I'm giving my money to the immigrant. They're hustling. I appreciate
They're
the hustle.
hustling.
They're working hard. Immigrants work hard.
Have you
Yeah.
ever bought street food from these people?
All I know is I've never in my day in my life worked hard enough where I've never said I would stand in the middle of traffic to do my job.
I have not bought mango, but I have bought churros from them.
I bet the churros are pretty good.
Yeah, the churros are very
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd buy the churros from them. I don't know about buying them. I'm just thinking like there might be.
Fruit's
I
a
might
bit of
get
a
sick from the
gamble.
mangoes.
It could be spoiled. There could be ants on it. They could
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know if they're meeting health code regulations.
Yeah,
when they're
yeah.
selling it on the street.
I
I mean,
mean-
a cooler. Or...
I don't know. They had plastic and cups that they put them in.
They're in plastic cups, and the cups are on ice.
Yeah.
You seem to know a lot about this, Jay.
I mean,
Are you running the operation?
it's not just the highway. These operations go on the subway too, and I had a lot of great times waiting endless amounts of time for the subway. So you walk up and down the platform, stomping and cursing, and you pass mango
Hey,
stands
if
and
you
you
could
pass
get
churros.
if you could get your card game made
Mhm.
by selling fruit on the side in the middle of the highway, would you do it?
Yeah, I feel like you want to be a video editor at some point. That's still your dream in life. Besides the card game.
There's
Can you-
so many video editing jobs because everything is on video. I was thinking about this the other day. How did Jay not get a job video editing? You can video edit anything.
Think about
Literally every third person in this country has been editing videos.
20 years ago. There was way less of that. It was like the TV boom started as soon as I gave up on my dreams.
You know, they determine how drug use in America. They'll say, have you used marijuana in the last month? And a certain percentage of the public. I think if they said, how have you edited a video in the last month? 70% of America has, besides Jay.
Yeah. Well, first of all, it's a lot easier to edit videos now, but also 20 years ago, they didn't have all these streaming sites with everyone making original content. It was a lot more limited.
Have you thought about going back into it, Jay?
No.
Okay.
I mean, just every sports team has a video editor, a minor league team. I mean, it just.
Brian's like, in my part of my job, I've been editing videos.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you make conspiracy theory videos. You got to edit them.
20 years ago,
Jay,
they weren't like showing like little league games on ESPN4 or whatever. Like there was a lot less content out there.
Here's my idea for you, Jay. Here's my idea of how you make it big. You do a documentary, and how hard if you could edit video, you can make a documentary.
I love how every one of your
if
ideas.
You have an iPhone, you can make a documentary.
Yeah. So
every one of Mark's ideas involves me spending inordinate amount of time doing something.
Well, what am I gonna have an idea for myself? So
you could
anyway,
be going to the movies, Mark.
Couldn't Jay do a documentary about the watermelon mango salespeople?
Jay should do it.
Jay already really respects them. He's like, they're hardworking people.
No. If Jay's gonna make a documentary, he's gonna make a documentary about video editors.
Okay, I will admit I will say the mango watermelon people work harder than myself. You guys think you work harder or not as hard as those people?
I would say 3 out of 4 weeks a month they work harder. I work hard like during month end.
Right.
I have a lot of downtime at work, but when I work hard.
Jay in the last week or two has been like, hey, did you watch this? I just watched this comedy special. Did you guys watch this? I just watched this. I just watched this. He keeps saying, I just watched this at
like
1 o'clock in
in
the
the
afternoon. While we're sitting, I'm like, I just texted Jay back this week. I was like, dude, do you work during work?
I'm not watching it. I'm listening to it. It's stand up. Like
I was like, how much free time do you fucking have during your work day?
I'm working, and I have the stand up on on my headphones. I'm not like sitting there watching it.
Right? Were you wondering that how much free time Jay has during his work day?
Yeah.
No.
Jay's like, I just binged 8 seasons of Orange is the New Black at work. Anyway.
No, I'm not even looking at the screen. I'm
just watched every Simpsons episode.
I'm just listening to it. I'm not like even looking at the screen.
He's like, I just rewatched Sopranos at work, and
I actually had a coworker who did that. He watched the Agents of Shield, that Marvel show. He watched like all 7 seasons at work at his desk.
Sometimes
my wife had a coworker.
Sometimes if I don't have a lot of work and there's a show I'm currently watching and I like didn't get the chance to watch it at home, I'll because I have 2 monitors at work, so I'll throw it on one of them and just kind of.
My wife had a coworker who, when things were slow, watched Lost. This was many years ago, and then she lost her job shortly thereafter.
At that job I hated, I watched that American Vandal show, not knowing.
Oh, that was a funny show.
It was really good, but it was the one where they spray painted dicks on all the cars, and I'm just picturing my coworkers walking past my desk, and they're just seeing spray painted dicks like all over my screen.
Right? Did you watch? I forgot all about that show. Did you watch this show?
I never heard of it.
American Vandal. It's actually one of the better things Netflix ever did.
Yeah.
It's a mockumentary. It's a fake documentary.
Okay.
Not really a mock, but anyway, fake documentary. What was the first season?
That was the dicks spray
right,
painted.
yeah.
It's like a high school kid makes tries to solve a crime, and it's documentary style. And one day somebody spray painted dicks on all the teachers' cars, and so it's a full making a murderer type thing. They interview people. Right. Only they're dead serious, saying like, well, no, when I draw a dick, I draw hairs on the balls, and there's no hairs on these spray painted.
It was really funny.
Yeah,
it was
it's really
true
funny.
crime for drawing dick. It was very.
Yeah, he's making like a chart.
And
he's like comparing dicks on this his dry erase board, and like.
I kind of want to now look up what those people are doing, because I imagine they had to have made something else really. They made a second season, which wasn't quite as good.
It was still good though.
It was still funny.
Yeah.
The second season, people got the thing was at the school, everyone got food poisoning, or like they had shit themselves.
Somebody put laxative in the school lunch, and so everyone at the school shit themselves at the same time.
It was really funny. Though. Yeah, it was really well done. The dick one though, like when they were comparing how people draw dicks, and like my dick doesn't look like this. It was, and trying to figure out who it was really good.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen the kid who starred in that in a few like crappy comedy movies.
Yeah,
like there was a movie, The Binge, where it's a parody on The Purge, where all drugs and alcohol are illegal all year except one day a year, and so it's like a party movie.
It's hard to parody The Purge when they just want they went to like the extreme right away. Like you could murder people for one day. That's a pretty extreme.
Yeah, not much coming back from that.
Yeah, it's not like if anything, like doing the if there was the binge was the first one, the purge was like the parody, that would have been a little more. You can't beat like murders allowed.
I've seen all 5 Purge movies and the Purge TV show.
Jay, stop telling us what you did today at work.
I swear I'm working at work.
Holy shit! I was like,
Are you guys trying
day,
to? You guys
every
are.
day, did you see this comedy special? I'm like, at work.
You guys are trying to get me to lose my job. I'm working and listening.
Right. Do you think at any point while they're cutting up watermelon and mango, they're watching a comedy special?
Where you get the TV outside?
Exactly. These people I think they're working harder than you are, Jay. I think it's bullshit. I admit they're working harder than me. I think they're working harder than you also. They have to first get the mango and watermelon. I don't know where they're getting that from, but they have to bring it to the highway, cut it all up, and then stand on the highway in the heat.
Yeah, it's not great.
Jay, would you do your job standing on the highway?
No.
Okay, so you're a pussy also.
Would you?
Well, I mean, like, is it a chat? Like, I guess if I'm getting paid a little more, I could do my job in the middle of the highway.
You would not.
You don't think I'd stand there in the middle of the highway?
No. I think. Well, also, like, your job is working the phones.
I'll be on the phone. I'll have a Bluetooth headset, and I'll just be like, "Yeah, what am I doing now?" I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you over the honking. There's a lot of honking going on. Why are people honking? Well, I'm standing in the middle of the highway. That's why people are honking. Brian, would you do your job in the middle of the highway?
I don't think I could. No.
It'd be a tough job. Jay, you're doing accounting, so you're just like entering numbers into spreadsheets, right?
It's that easy. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. You seem to be watching every comedy special while you're doing your job.
I'm not watching. It's the same thing as listening to music.
Okay, could you do your job on the highway? What if we got a little desk in the highway?
I mean, is it on wheels? And am I going the same speed as everybody else?
No, you're stationary, so you have a small desk because you're on the highway. Cars have to go around you.
Mm-hmm.
You sit at the desk. You have a little computer, and you just like type away, and you can even have headphones to listen to comedy specials while the cars go by you.
Well, as long as I could do that.
How much would we have to pay? What percentage? Like, how much would you need? Like, to double your salary? Double your salary? Would you sit in the highway? And
You don't listen to anything at work? You make
no,
it sound like this is like the craziest thing. Like Jay listens to
so
stuff while he works.
If I'm not on the phone and I'm just doing like word processing, I'm just typing something, or just doing anything where I'm not talking to anyone, I'll have music in the background a lot.
Yeah. Or Mark is like, yeah, I listened to 30 years of Howard Stern, but it's weird that I listen to a comedy special.
I don't listen to it during work.
Well, would it make any difference if you listened to Howard Stern over like a song?
I don't know. Brian, do you ever listen to anything during work, Brian?
Sometimes I'll throw on like a radio station or something, but not too.
But isn't it like the idea to have background stuff where you're not really paying attention, not like something where you're trying to follow a joke?
Yeah, I guess.
Like I said, it depends. It depends what I'm doing.
Yeah, a lot of times it's to drown out the annoying people in my office.
Okay, so what if you found out that people standing in traffic selling mango and watermelon were making a lot of money? Let's say they were making $200,000 a year to do that.
Well, you know, some people who are the hot dog truck people do make like 6 figures.
Do they really?
Yeah.
I think actually I saw that somewhere.
Yeah.
How much would you have to make to be a hot dog guy?
My buddy just bought a hot dog cart, and I told him I was going to quit my job, and this is what I told him I was going to do, and this is a great idea. I told him I'm going to quit my job, I'm going to buy my own cart, but we're going to go into business, we're going to be partners, but we're going to set up at the same place, like opposite like corners, and just shit talk each other. Be like, don't go over there, come over here. And just like, get
pretend to be in competition with each other.
Yeah.
We would have done that in college in a heartbeat if we had the resources.
Do you remember a while back, it was a number of years ago, but there was in Houston, there was like a corner of the street where there were Starbucks across from each other?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't go to that Starbucks, come to our Starbucks.
Lewis Black did a whole bit on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so how much would you have to make to work the hot dog cart?
150.
I mean, I feel like it would be. Do you feel like it would be a good job or an annoying job?
annoying. Any
It
job where
both.
you
It
have to
depends
deal
where
with
you
people.
are. Like my buddy's been struggling because he doesn't have a real good place to be. Like he gets some like he has a buddy who runs like a summer camp, so he's been there a lot, like during the week, and then on the weekends he goes to like,
So
um,
your buddy's a struggling hot dog salesman.
well, he's sort of just getting
This
off the
sounds so much
ground.
worse.
He's just getting off the ground. It's his first summer doing it,
You
Okay.
also
but
need
it's hard to get
licenses
it.
for
It like
certain areas.
like it's actually like stricter to run a food truck or like a cart than like a restaurant. Like
Yeah.
the health department's like up your ass. You have to have like a home base like restaurant where you have access to their kitchen and where you can like do shit and stuff like that. And
Yeah, I think I think it's not the yeah, I feel like first of all, I think if you want a prime spot, you have to pay a lot of money for that prime spot.
Yeah,
It's
you
not
have
like-
licenses for certain areas. So like
yeah,
you could pay 5 figures a year for the ones near Central Park because
Right,
that's
that's
where
what I was thinking of.
that's where you want to be. So yeah, it's not great. And then any job dealing with people sucks.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like any job dealing with people, you're like most people are fine, but then there are people that will ruin your business basically.
Or just your day.
Or
Yeah.
your day. Yes.
I mean, I worked in retail. It wasn't fun.
I enjoyed working in retail.
Really?
I thought it was fun. I don't know. I worked at Foot Locker. That was kind of a fun job. I mean, there wasn't much to it. You're just like, you want a sneaker? Yeah. They're like, does this sneaker help me? Sure. Yes, that sneaker will help you.
Yeah, it makes you
it'll help
taller.
you. You can dunk. You can do whatever. Yeah. Which sneaker's better? I don't fucking know. I work here. How would I know?
I mean, I worked at the Warner Brothers store, and it was basically all day people would just pick up a shirt, unfold it, and walk away, and I'd have to go back over and fold it. So that job wasn't great.
At Foot Locker.
Could you get that job again so me and Mark could come in and do that?
Oh my god! All day I'd be like, "Can I get this in another size?" Jay, come on, Jay. Come on. I'm not being a dick, Jay. I
Oops,
want to
yeah,
buy the
I'm
shirt.
sorry.
I want to. You have this. I want to try this in multiple colors also. I want to see what accentuates my eyes.
Did I tell you when I worked at Sam Goody, my coworker who wasn't working that day pranked me?
No.
Oh, what?
So she calls up and she asks how much, let's just say, Blink 182 is on CD.
Yeah.
So I'd go over, I'd check, and I'd come back and I'd say the price, and she'd go, "Oh, that's a lot for a cassette." And I go, "Oh, I thought you said CD," and I go check the cassette.
Oh my god.
And then I'd come back and I'd tell the price. She's like, "Oh, that's really cheap for a CD." And she had me going back and forth. She got me good. I went back like 3 or 4 times until she like broke character and started laughing.
Oh, that's pretty funny. Yeah,
Yeah.
every time you come back, like, wow, that's how much it costs for Counting Crows. You said Blink 182.
Yeah,
Fine, I'll check.
yeah, that's what she was doing to
Oh,
me.
that's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
The at Foot Locker, the thing what they told you to do was you were supposed to like up the sale. I forget what they called it, but basically like they want to buy one thing, you have to get an added product. So like you're buying
Right.
sneakers, try to sell sneaker cleaner or something else. Just
Right,
shitty and
extra
go
pair
on,
of shoelaces or something.
shoelaces.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why you need insoles, but everyone's we sold them insoles.
Right.
And people be like, oh, so these insoles will make my sure. I don't know. Just please buy it. Like
Yeah,
but you're just basically all you're doing is basically like lying to people all day about why they should buy something else, and like the people are like, yeah, sure, okay, I'll buy it. But it was kind of a fun. I guess yeah, it was a fun job.
yeah. I had to sell like Sam Goody, like rewards cards to people.
Right. You're trying to convince people like how to clean the sneaker cleaner thing, which is funny because I'm like they're gonna clean. I'm like sitting there fucking cleaning their sneakers. The whole point of sneakers is they get dirty. Like, and I'm selling this foam that you're gonna like sit there and like scrape your sneakers with.
I've never once done that in my entire life. Yeah.
Brian, you work any funny jobs?
No, not really. I mean, we had the movie theater job. I worked at I worked at a gas station. We had a lot of fun at the gas station. We used to blow shit up and all that.
Blow shit up.
Yeah.
I didn't know you worked at a gas station.
I try to avoid the gas stations with bombs going off.
So this was like an old school one that like still had like the garage,
Mhm.
and there was
Okay.
all kinds of stuff in there. And I worked with these just psychopaths, man, and like everyone in town was like drunk, and like all the kids were drunk, like the high school kids or whatever. And it was just like every night there was something. They would just like I don't know anything about cars, but they were doing all this shit with cars, and they were just making like big tire marks in the parking lot, and then lighting it on fire. All
When-
this stuff. It's just
When was
crazy
this?
stuff. This was before I went to college, like the
Oh.
summer of my summer before I went to college, and And in the summer after my freshman year, I worked there again too. And like half the people are dead now, and it's just crazy.
You want to do a Jay? Maybe instead of the documentary about the mango watermelon, can you just do a documentary about the gas station that Bry worked at? That sounded.
I wrote a paper about it in my sociology class when I was a freshman about all the stuff we used to do. I worked at the in Hartford. It's the concert theater, like the amphitheater or whatever, like Jones Beach for you guys.
Yeah.
Hartford with my friend Matt, and we just. I did 2 years of ushering. That kind of sucked. And then the last year, he and I were alcohol compliance. So all we did was just walk around at people without wristbands. We would like card them and take their beer and stuff, or just like get girls to like show us their tits and then give them a wristband and stuff like that. I mean, it was just insanity. Then we got fired, and it was just crazy.
Bry's like, you seem not to have a wristband. You can't drink. I can't unless you show me your tits.
Yeah, we're like, you want a wrist? They're like, oh, we're only 20. I was like, well, you want a wristband?
Brian might have broken the law.
And, they were 18, but
I can't believe he got fired.
I don't think that's the part about breaking the law. I think telling people like they coerce people to show their tits is not a.
I think that was a coercion. It was a tit for tat. Pardon the pun. It was a.
Brian used that pun a lot in the summer.
It was a perfect phone call.
So we do have a question from Patrick.
Let's do it.
He wants to know our Halloween costumes throughout the years.
Jay goes out of his way to Jay's into Halloween, so he's had some
for
good
this year or of the past.
Throughout the years.
Jay, why don't you lead because you're into this.
Okay. Well, in college, I think freshman year, we went to a party and I bought a sexy Little Red Riding Hood costume with fishnet stockings. And every time we walked past a group of girls, Briar, one of the other guys, would pull my dress over my head. So
that's pretty funny.
That was fun.
That's pretty awesome.
I shaved my head and went as Homer Simpson one night and Charlie Brown the next night.
Yep.
Oh.
You left the one little curl on top.
Yeah, I left the one hair to. Yeah.
I've never really done anything crazy for Halloween costumes. I mean, I've done costumes obviously, but nothing that creative.
I've done Blue Man Group. I did Night Owl from The Watchmen.
I have a question. So you did Blue Man Group, so I imagine you were painted all blue.
Yeah.
How long did it take to get that shit off your head? How long did it take to get that stuff off?
Not long at all, actually. It
Oh.
took like 30 seconds. Yeah, it was really.
Oh.
It wasn't bad at all. Night Owl, which was from The Watchmen, he had goggles, and I could not see through the goggles. So I'm at this dark bar, and I can't see shit. And it's also like a onesie costume. So yeah, onesie costumes are not fun. I also did Space Ghost, which was a onesie costume.
Space Ghost was good. I remember you doing Space Ghost. That was a pretty good one.
Space Ghost, I actually cut a pee hole in there, so because I learned from Night Owl.
I've just done I did Super Mario one year. I was a vending machine one year. I was a Lego one year. I was what was I? Just random, just regular costumes though. I was one of the what is those the Despicable Me guys, the yellow guys. Minion. I was a minion. I was looking for a couple's costume, and I saw, oh, this looks cute, whatever, and I bought it, and then I realized I bought monkey costumes, and I was like, somehow we're gonna both dress like monkeys, and it's gonna be perceived as somehow we're gonna go to the party, and then people were like, is that costume racist? And I'm like, no, it's just a monkey, and I was like, I returned them.
I only did couple's costume once, and we were it was like Mexican bandito costumes, but in the strap you wear that was usually has bullets. It had little shot glasses.
Oh, not bad.
Andrew said he dressed up as Thing 2 from Dr. Seuss, covered in blood because he'd eaten Thing 1. Nice.
Oh, that's pretty good.
I did the Slim Jim guy from those Slim Jim commercials back in the day. Beetlejuice, Raiden from Mortal Kombat. I did an Oompa Loompa from Willy Wonka.
Not bad. Yeah, you're really into this.
I did Alf a couple times. I was the Burger King guy a couple times.
And when you do an Alf costume, are you wearing the mask? Isn't it just kind of ruin the experience?
Yeah, I had an Alf mask, and then my mom went to like a craft store and bought like a huge like piece of material that she like made into like a costume.
Didn't I have like a huge party one night and you
Yeah.
came as Alf? It was like a 200-person party and
you're
Bryce
a
showed
good
up.
party house. Yeah.
Because I don't want to do a costume where you're wearing a mask, because it kind of ruins the experience. Like, you just can't have as much fun if you're wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had one or two mask costumes, and I quickly learned it's better to do like a face paint costume or something.
Yeah, face paint or something over the eyes, where like you're looking like with eye holes, but nothing like your full face. It just kind of sucks.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like I'm forgetting a couple too.
Yeah, I
But-
can't remember what else I went.
What costume should we be this year?
The watermelon people.
The what?
The watermelon people.
Yeah, okay. Be the watermelon mango guy.
I want to do Terrifier. Have you seen that movie?
No, what is that?
It's a new horror movie. There's two of them, and it's like a psychotic clown, but it's like
Just like some obscure like European country movie.
Everything's obscure.
No, the third movie's coming out this year, but it's like the goriest horror movie.
In America?
It's so
Okay,
over the top.
So I'm usually on the Brink with Jay. I like when Jay does the show without me because I like to listen.
Mhm.
He did a show without me a couple episodes ago. It was I forget who were the people on the show with you?
Is that Frank and Peter?
Frank and Peter. And it was horror movies, and they're all into horror movies. Jay picked some obscure horror movie that involved child porn. I don't know. I couldn't even like not even child porn, like a guy raping a baby. Jay's always like, you always like talking about pedophilia, Mark, and then he spends half hour talking about a guy raping a baby.
First of all, there's only one scene in the movie. It's not a movie about raping a baby.
Yeah, like the movie's called Baby Raper. And Jay's
It's
like,
not.
I couldn't even believe I'm listening to this. I'm like, this is what Jay chooses to talk about, an obscure movie. No, I mean our podcast is obscure as it is anyway, but no one's heard of this movie, and it's all about a guy fucking like.
It's a
baby.
Serbian film.
What's the movie about? Tell the bride.
It's this.
We went over this.
Oh, we went over this already.
Yeah.
Because you ranted about it for a couple times.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But I don't think I
Did
ranted
we,
about the show.
Did we get any follow up from Jansen? Did we find out what was up his ass, or
Yeah, what's going with Jansen, Bri? Jay?
have you talked to him?
I don't know, but I think I should have him on the show again soon. We could
He's gonna come on the show and be like, listen, I don't even care what Mark said about me at the party.
Does Jansen's family sell fruit on the highway?
Yes, exactly. He's like, I was raised by two mango and watermelon sellers. They work so hard in the FDR. You're a piece of shit.
Yeah, I'll have him on soon. Andrew wants me to call him right now.
I have a wild story that happened to me over the weekend. I kind of
Please.
Let's hear it.
forgot about it because
Do it.
I told it like 10 times. But
Okay. Did it involve you selling fruit on the FDR?
No.
Oh.
It involved me ending up playing cards at the casino with a guy from the band Mastodon.
Oh, tell the story.
Well, there's not much. It's kind of the whole story, actually.
That was the whole story.
So I
I
went
have a
to
wild story.
I went to a concert
7 words
Saturday night.
long.
I went to a concert Saturday night at the casino. It was a metal show. It was the headliner was Lamb of God, then Mastodon, then Kerry King from Slayer. Whatever. So I go to the show and I left because I don't like Lamb of God. So I left and I was staying over because it was my birthday. And so I left the concert at like 9:30 or something, and I just went out to the casino and I was bouncing around from table to table. And like about 11:30 or so, I saw one of the guys. These guys are very noticeable guys. They don't blend in, the four guys in this band. So I saw one of the guys like just kind of, he was like yelling, and he was smoking, and he had a drink, and there was like four people with him, and they sort of just walked down the aisle and like walked by, and I was like, oh cool, that's the guy from Mastodon, whatever. And then like, a few minutes later, I saw him like on the other end of the tables where I was, and he came up like across. There's like 2 rows of tables. He was coming up the other way, and then there's like a huge like. It looks like a tree, but it's like a pole, like to hold the ceiling up. And he was like behind it, so I couldn't see where he went. I was like, oh, maybe he just left or whatever. And at one point I got up and I peeked around and I saw that he was playing at the same game I was playing on the other end. And I was like, oh, I should go over there and play with him. And then just like 10 minutes later, the table I was playing at, they had to change the cards, which takes like 15 minutes because, they put the cards away, take new ones out, count them, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I want to go over and see if that guy's there. So I go around the corner. He's not at the table. I was like, ah, damn, I missed him. And then I turn and he's at the ATM and he's like screaming. And there's a couple people around him. And during the show, he had thrown someone out. Like he pointed out some guy in the crowd and like threw him out. And I couldn't tell what happened. So I was like, I'm gonna go up to him and I'm gonna be like, hey, why'd you throw the guy out? You know, like that's my like in. So I start to walk over to him, and another guy cuts in front of me and is like, pats him on the back. He's like, oh, great set, man. That was awesome, you know, whatever. And he's like, oh, yeah, thanks. And he turns around, and like before I could say anything to him, he just points he like points past me to like the table, and he goes, do you know how to play that game? And I go, yeah, I play that game all the time. He goes, well, sit down. We're gonna go play, you, me, and he pointed to where a guy was, but the guy was on the other side of him. He was so drunk. I've never seen somebody so drunk in my entire life. It was crazy. He's like, come on, we're gonna play. You, me, and him. They're him. And so I turned to the other guy and I was just like, you gonna play? And he goes, yeah, let's play, no problem. So it turns out this other guy who I thought was like one of his buddies or like a roadie or something, he was just another guy who saw him walking around and started hanging around with them. So the three of us sit down at this table and he's like, I don't know how to fucking play. You gotta tell me how to play. What do I gotta do? And I was like, all right, you know. So he buys in his chips, and I'm like, just put it here. And he's you know yelling, and he was yelling, but he wasn't like he was just loud, like he was because he was drunk, like he wasn't yelling. And he had a big full cup of beer, like this, like without a cover, just right in front of him. And he had his chips, and he's flailing, you know, he's patting me on the back, high-fiving the next guy, doing this, and the dealer and the pit boss are just, like, cringing every time he moves, and he never knocked the beer over. Like, everybody was just terrified. He was just gonna just knock it over. He just never did. It was I was so proud of him. I couldn't believe, like, the control he had. So we played for, like, 45 minutes.
Was he the lead singer, the drummer?
No, he's a guitar player.
Guitar player, okay.
So we played for, like, 45 minutes. He won like $700. He didn't even know what he was doing. He won like every fucking hand. I lost like 500 while I was playing, and then finally it was. And so this literally happened at like 10 after 12 on my birthday. Like it just became my birthday. So I was like, hey man, it's my birthday. You know, this is really cool that we're doing this. He's like, it's not your fucking birthday. He's like arguing with me. I'm like, yeah, no, it is my fucking birthday. You know, and. Like he must have given the dealers like $200 because every time like he was like not paying attention or like picked up his like he was bending the cards, you're not supposed to do that and shit. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, and it just like throw him a $5 chip and all this stuff. And yeah, so we played for like just about an hour or so, and then finally he left. But it was crazy. It was so funny.
That's fun. That's really cool.
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and like in like the so then he leaves, and like you know me and this other kid. We're talking and like we're telling like the dealer like we're like yeah, he's in the band, like he's a rock star, and they just thought he was just some drunk asshole. They didn't believe us, so we're like no, he was in the band, he played tonight, like he's sort of famous. I mean, and nobody believed us. It was pretty, and you know, and people are still walking around like with you know concert shirts on, metalheads that are walking around, and we're just like we're sitting here with one of the fucking guys, and nobody even notices. It was pretty funny. It was pretty wild.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Jay, you ever gamble with what's that band you love?
Dandy Warhols.
Dandy Warhols.
I mean, I drank beer with them, but I didn't get to go to a casino with them.
By the way, isn't that one of your nightmares? The guy pointed someone out in the concert, pointed someone out and had him kicked out. Wasn't that thing you're like?
So I did get to ask him, and he said he hit a woman or something, or he pushed a woman or something.
Oh, because Jay, wasn't your would you rather? I forget what the second one thing, but it was would you rather have a musician point you out to be like a jackass in a show?
Yeah, I still think that would have been a funny card for the game. It was have the lead singer of a band point at you and call you a piece of shit. I just think that's funny.
It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool birthday, Bri.
Yeah, it was. I just sent you guys the picture.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's a great picture.
I have a question for you guys. I have two unrelated.
Okay.
So you guys have bought things on Amazon before, I assume.
What's Amazon?
I mean, not since the show started, but yeah.
Okay, so when you buy something on Amazon, often they'll say, "Is this a gift?" You have like a gift option, like
yeah.
So you've seen that, right?
Yeah.
So I went to buy I was buying condoms on Amazon, And the thing was, is this a gift? I was like, I don't know. Who's giving condoms as a gift?
Well, it probably knows you're married, and he's like, "Why the fuck are you buying condoms?"
It's
mean,
a
they
weird,
do
It's a weird thing to be like.
They do know everything about you.
I don't think the gift checkbox pays attention to what the product is.
I mean, maybe it should. It was weird. And then I was like, oh, maybe I will get the gift option.
The anniversary's coming up. Look what I got you, babe.
Coming up.
If it's a gift, all they do is like not.
They put a little gift card, and you can actually have. You can
Yeah,
get,
and then like if you have an Alexa and it won't tell you, like it'll say your item was delivered, but it won't say what it is because it's a gift.
Yeah, my wife would be like, "Ooh, it's not telling you. I wonder what he got me." Condoms.
You should put a bunch of condoms in like a Tiffany box. Really surprise her.
And then the other thing I've noticed recently is I've noticed on Netflix there's an option to watch at 0.5 speed, 1.5 speed. Like you have an option to watch the show slower or faster.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you watching a video slower or faster?
I guess that would work for stand-up comedy, I guess, because it'll get done faster.
Yeah, I can't see a time you would ever want it slower, but I could see faster. Or if you're watching like Making a Murderer, like documentary, they kind of talk kind of slow during that.
You want to pretend you're the guy in it, the slow guy.
I mean, I can't imagine ever wanting to listen.
I got to binge through Ozark, and I need to do it faster. So
maybe if you're learning the language, like
that could be.
You want to hear it a little bit slower to try and like.
Oh, okay.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just obviously Netflix thought this was an important feature because they've added it, and they are a very smart company. I guess they have a lot of people who are like, I need my videos faster. I need to binge faster.
I would like them to not have the option where you hover over it and it automatically starts playing. Like, I know what's in my queue. I don't need every single square to start playing while I'm hovering over it trying to decide what to watch.
That's true. That is a little annoying.
Very aggravating.
I also find like it's like you make a list of like your these are all on your list, like the things you want to like I forget, like you check it off because you want to be able to find it.
Yeah.
And then you go to the home screen and you can't find those items.
Yeah.
They like hit it, like they hide them at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that happened to me on HBO Max. Like I was looking for like John Oliver that I watched, and I had to go down like 40 rows to find it.
Because they know you already want to watch that. They want you to add a whole bunch of shit while you're going to watch the stuff you already know you want to watch.
I can't figure out how to watch John Oliver without typing in John Oliver on HBO. And that's how useful. Like I always just search for I'm like, hey, I watch one show and I can't find that show anytime I come to your site.
Yeah, HBO doesn't have the best.
I watched something last week, and it wasn't something I had watched, but it was something I knew was on, and I went scrolling through to like every category, and I'm like, I don't know, is it a psychedelic comedy? Is it an adult comedy? Is it? I forget what it was, but I couldn't find the damn thing.
They have 37 categories you have to scroll through, and you're like, how about that category of things I put on I checked off that I want to watch?
Yeah. I mean, you're listening to me, you're listening to me talk, because if I say a word and I go on my phone on Facebook, I have 4 ads for it, so you can't tell me where the damn thing is on HBO Max or Prime or whatever it is.
It really is amazing when you search for an item you haven't searched for before, and suddenly that item is everywhere on your internet.
I didn't even search for it. My wife and I were talking a couple weeks ago. We were talking about those old cookies. I can't remember what they are now. The Keebler. They're round. They had a hole in the middle. They were chocolate on one side.
Fudge stripes.
Like brown on the other. Like what?
Fudge stripes.
Fudge stripes. Like we were talking about it. We weren't looking at it. We weren't online or anything talking about it. And then she went on her phone and she had an ad for it.
How soon to be like you're just talking about it, and then like the doorbell rings,
it's just
and Amazon's just like, you want it?
But we couldn't even.
You were talking about it. We know you want it.
We didn't even figure out what the name was. Like Jay got farther than we did, and all of a sudden it popped up.
I'm sort of a cookie connoisseur.
Oh.
Jay is that thing Kazam. That's for Jay's for cookies.
Yeah, beat Shazam. It's you describe cookies, and Jay, you have to beat Jay.
Fitment, got it again. Jay, I can't beat you.
Yeah, those are good. They have like a bag of like mini ones too. They had those.
What are the best cookies?
Best cookies. Well, fudge stripes are up there. Those are really good.
I think Thin Mints are up there for me.
I like Nutter Butters. Those are my favorite.
Oh, I don't like those at all.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Nutter Butter fan.
I like Nutter Butters so much that I wish I could develop a peanut allergy so that I'll stop eating them. Like, so, like if I could lose 30 pounds if I came up with a peanut allergy somehow.
That would be like a thing you go to your doctor. You're like, okay, now I want to be allergic to ice cream. Also,
Yeah.
I have
Can you give
no
me
will
can you
control.
give me another one of those COVID vaccines so I end up with a peanut allergy?
You're asking like, I need this allergy. I need this allergy.
Have you heard
need
of
a shrimp allergy? Yeah, I like shrimp also.
Have you heard of a crumble cookie?
Yes, we have
Yes,
one in
I
our
have.
town.
Oh, that place
They're
is
like
so
everywhere
good.
now.
Yeah, that place is dangerous.
Yeah, they had like a vendor thing at my wife's work, and she was there, and came home raving about them, and now they're opening one near us, so she's all excited.
Yeah, they have 6 flavors every week, and they rotate, and
Yeah.
they have like 250 flavors or something.
Okay, so I'm going to take the opposite of the position on this. I don't think they're very good.
Really?
I know they're everywhere and they're really popular. I've tried them. I think they're not very good cookies.
I didn't actually try them. She did.
Maybe you had
So I
the
think-
like. Did you have like maybe just a bad flavor?
I've tried a few of them. Like they're like popular in our town. They're like the Krispy Kreme of
You
cookie
guys-
places. It's
You
just
guys have
really-
insomnia cookies there?
Insomnia cookies are really good cookies.
No.
Yeah,
So Insomnia, like we don't have that in our town, but I've had that before. I'm like, those are like, wow, those are good cookies.
they're cookies they're open to like 3 in the morning, Jay. So like, you come out of the bar and you go get cookies and milk. and
Mhm.
ice cream.
Yeah, and I think they deliver also.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I went to one in New Haven. It was right by Yale.
Those are really good cookies. I feel like you really like the other ones. The what's it called again? The
Crumble?
I never had them.
I
Yeah,
mean,
you like them?
yes, but I will say it depends on the flavor. Like, I've had some that weren't good, and I've had some that were incredible. So
Wow.
it definitely varies.
I had a few of them. I've tried a few different. I mean, the cookies are also huge, so obviously you're not having like a whole cookie, but like
Right.
or maybe
Well, I would get a 4-pack, and I'd have like a quarter of each one.
yeah.
So
But they're
yeah.
I found that kind of. I didn't think they were very good at all.
I mean, before I realized how many calories were in crumble cookies, I was keeping a spreadsheet and rating each one, and then I saw the calories, and I'm like, I'm never going to crumble cookie again.
Oh, I think we saw the calories, and like we were walking by like the place because like it's right near us, and we were like we saw the calories, and we were like my wife and I were like, oh, the calories aren't so bad. It's not that bad. And then it was like per serving.
That's
and there
what
were, like,
happened to me.
4 servings in a cookie. I
That's
was
what
like,
happened to
they're
me.
not 4 servings in a fucking cookie. It's
Yeah.
a cookie. It's
It's a
one
cookie, it's
fucking
one.
serving.
Exactly. Exactly. I was like,
Four cookies should be one serving, not 4 bites of a cookie.
exactly. I was looking and I'm like, oh, there's only 180 calories. This is awesome. And then like after a couple weeks and a couple pounds, I realized it was per serving. And I was like, fuck.
Okay, so I think each week I'm going to give another piece of advice to a political candidate that wants to be president.
Mhm.
Last week we did the 3 honk rule.
Mhm.
My
Yeah.
new idea this week is companies have to give realistic serving sizes. There
Yeah.
are not 10 servings for a fucking cookie. It's one fucking cookie. Give the real calories.
Yeah.
I
You get like a pudding. You get like a pudding cup, and there's 2 servings. What am
Yeah.
I'm gonna put the cover back on, put it back in
Half
the
a bowl
fridge?
of cereal is not a serving.
No.
Put it up to the fucking top of the bowl of cereal. That's a serving.
a can of Pringles is like 6 servings. Have you ever closed the lid on that 6 times?
Their fucking slogan is once you pop, you can't stop.
Right.
They're not. It's one fucking serving.
Yeah.
That make it just illegal. Like, hey, we're gonna make it illegal to give. We understand our country's fucking fat, and fat. We all want realistic serving sizes. We know how much we're indulging.
Yeah. I mean, at least make it realistic. Like Pringles should be like 2 max.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm sure. Like, I bet McDonald's was like, our burger's 7 servings.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's absolutely insane the tiny little shit portions they put on there.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, just don't fucking.
A
lie.
quarter of a
Everyone will be
cookie?
Like, people are like, oh, that's ridiculous. I guess I'll vote for that candidate.
I honestly thought Crumble Cookie was using like fake sugar, and that's why it was. No, because they have like stevia or whatever. I thought they were using that.
Yeah. I can't believe you thought crumble cookie was good for you.
I didn't think it was good for me. It's
Jay's
not
like,
like eating a
I,
carrot.
I'm on the
It's
new crumble
less
cookie
bad.
diet.
I saw 180 calories. I thought it was 180 calories. I was like, okay, they're probably using stevia instead of like sugar.
I have to admit, like when we saw that, and I was like 180 calories. We're like, wow, these aren't so bad. Like it took us a second to figure out that it was like per serving. So I was like, it is. They put it up there like, Oh, it's only 180 calories for this cake-sized cookie.
Right. That's why I assumed it was fake sugar. I'm like, well, it's way too big for 180 calories, so there must be like fake sugar.
Yeah, yeah. You're like, they're doing something. I don't know. Maybe they use some vegetable. Like they use like just like that fake meat. It's fake. It's fake sugar. It's fine. It's good for us.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So, yeah, that was a disappointment. I was enjoying my crumble cookie binge.
If you will learn anything from this show, you should learn the fact that crumble cookie is not healthy.
No, definitely not. So, you guys got anything else? I know you got to wrap up soon.
I got it. Jay's annoyed at me. I have to wrap up and we're gonna play pickleball.
I got one other.
Jay hates pickleball.
I got one other wacky sort of feel-good story.
Let's hear it.
You guys believe in? We've had this conversation before when we used to talk about the medium and stuff. But are you guys believers in like signs from the universe and fate and things like that?
Do I believe in bullshit? No.
I'm not sure. I'm
Yeah.
agnostic. I'm not sure.
I'm sort of, and not religious. I don't mean in a religious way. I mean
Right.
like.
I know. I just couldn't think of another word quick
Yeah,
enough.
yeah.
My vocabulary
I
isn't
still-
very large.
If there like, so there could be aliens out there. There could be ghosts. There could be all this shit. We don't actually understand the universe. I just until I have actual evidence, I don't believe in it. But like if it turned out to be true, well, whatever. I wouldn't
You don't
be
even
I
believe
wouldn't
in
be like,
aliens?
Oh my god. What?
You don't even believe in aliens?
Why would I believe in aliens? Have you
Because
seen
there's
one?
a billion trillion stars.
So why does there have to be another planet with people?
Because it's statistically impossible for there not to be.
It's statistically impossible for the universe to exist.
Anyway,
None of this makes any sense.
let's hear your
Where
story,
did the
Brian.
universe come from? Nothing
Anyways,
makes any sense. Come on.
I had a little bit of
Is this about that balloon, the balloon thing with the ghost?
I'm trying to think of how to set this story up. I bought online. Jay, do you remember when I used to have a boat?
Yes. I never got to go on the boat, but I remember you had a boat.
You never got to go on the boat.
I think I remember that. Jay.
So
I had
10
that.
years, we used to have a boat. We had it for like 15 years, and about 10 years ago, my dad sold it on a whim. Just like I came home for lunch one day. He goes, "Oh, I sold the boat." I'm like, "What the fuck you mean you sold the boat?" I sold the boat. I don't want it anymore. So he sold it, and we made a series of bad purchases after that. He bought an RV. My wife, girlfriend at the time, we bought like a little jet boat that was a piece of shit that we had trouble with, and we've just like always wanted a boat since then. And over last weekend there was a boat I saw on Marketplace, a brand new boat that I really wanted to buy, and it was kind of expensive, but I had like half the money in cash, and I could have got the money out because I'm starting to get some of my dad's money and stuff like that. And I haven't thought
How much does a boat cost? Just curious.
it too long, and it ended up being sold. Fine, I wasn't like married to it. I never went to go look at it. It was just something I was kind of interested in. So I was like, all right, well, next year I'll go out and I'll go to the boat show and I'll buy the boat because it's a series. It's not like a once in a lifetime thing. It's like a series or whatever. So Monday, I had to bring my car in for service. So I'm waiting at the dealer for like 3 hours, and I'm looking online at the boats on the Marketplace. And for whatever reason, I've done this once or two times in the past. For whatever reason, I was like, I'm going to look up our old boat and see if they still make those and if they're for sale. Well, I found the exact boat that my dad had that we sold. Like the boat, not the same kind of, the same boat.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I bought it.
Oh wow.
So I bought it. Now, here's where it gets a little tricky. So, signs-wise. All right, so it was just my birthday. I just wanted to buy a boat, and I lost out on it, all right? So, it's a little, like, freaky that all of a sudden it turned up in a search, okay? I'm at the deal. So I called my wife, and I showed it to her. She's like, "Oh, my God, you got to buy it. It's a sign. Your dad's looking out for you, whatever. We got to buy it." I was like, all right. I was like, reach out to the guy, and let's see what we can do. Like, see if he can come over, whatever. So she calls me back. She's like, he'll take our offer. He'll drive it over. He lives like a half hour away. It's like, okay, cool. I was like, I'm at the dealer. I don't know how long I'm going to be. Then I got to go to work, whatever. So she's like, okay, I'll have the guy come later. So about 5 minutes after that, the dealer is like, all right, we got to get you in a rental car because your car, we can't fix it today. I was like, all right. So they bring me over to the Enterprise, and the lady's like, doing my paperwork and everything. She's like, what kind of car do you have? I was like, I have a Jeep Grand Cherokee, blah, blah, blah. She goes, "Oh, I can't get you into that kind of car, but I could get you into that car right there. It's a Dodge Charger." Well, a Dodge Charger is the car that my dad had.
Oh.
Okay.
And it
So
was your
not the
dad's
same
car.
Not the same car, but
That
it
would've
was a
been
Dodge
fun.
Charger. So I was like, all right, well, that's fat. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay,
pretty good
I'll
coincidence.
take the car. So I go home. I go to work. I come home later. The guy brings the boat over. It's the same boat.
And the guy who
Whatever.
brought the boat over was the guitarist from Mastodon.
No, so the guy brings the boat over, and then my wife points out to me, you know what the guy's name is? And I'm like, no, what's his name? His name is Angel. Okay. So it's a little.
I didn't know your dad's name, but tell me your dad's
No,
name.
my dad's name wasn't Angel, but you know.
It was an
Whatever.
angel. Yeah.
So
That would be. I'd be
all
like,
right,
wow,
so
that's a pretty big coincidence right there.
it's like, all right. So I'm driving my dad's car. I got my dad's boat. There's a guy named Angel that brought the boat to us. I get up the next day to go to work, and I'm walking around the rental car to get in it, and the license plate on the car is BR1. Blah blah blah, and a bunch of numbers, but it looks like Bry.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's a little spooky.
That's pretty crazy. That's a lot of
It's a little-
coincidences for
A
one
lot of
day.
coincidence. Yeah.
It's a little like, you know, I'm not one of those, like I'm not a disbeliever, and I'm not going to discredit you. It's just one of those things where it enough hasn't happened to me to believe in it, but it's a little freaky that this would happen.
Yeah. Wow, that's
But
interesting.
anyways, yeah. So our old boat is sitting in the driveway.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I have a question. Did you pay as much as your dad paid? Like your dad sold for an amount of money. Was it the same price to buy it back, or was it less?
My dad sold it for $5,000, and I paid $6,000.
It went up in value.
Well, my dad just sold it on a whim. He didn't really get fair market value for it.
it's
But
fine.
it now has a trailer. We didn't have
Oh.
a trailer, and the trailer is like brand new. The trailer's worth at least $2,000. So,
Okay.
Put some money into it.
you know,
Are you gonna do a lot of boating now?
well, probably not this year because I don't really have any free time for the next couple weekends. But you know, next year, this way I could fix it up. It needs, you know, there's some things. Some things have been upgraded. Some things are falling apart, and some things are about exactly the same.
Okay.
So you know, we'll see next year. We'll get it in the water, and
That's pretty cool. You got your dad's boat though.
yeah,
So it was 10 years later?
it was he either sold it in 2015 or 2016, but I think it was 2015. So it was just about 10 years.
Yeah. Wow.
And so I found it last year online. For whatever reason I was looking for it. I don't know why I was thinking about it. Like at the beginning of last summer, I like Googled like the kind of boat, and I found like some for sale, and I found that the exact boat was for sale like through a dealer. And I was all excited, and I was trying to get him or my wife. I was like, come on, let's just buy it. Like, and nobody wanted to buy it, and it was on sale. I think it was 12. They were selling it for 12 last year.
Oh, wow.
And then eventually it got
Wow.
sold because I had the link and I kept looking at it, and eventually it said sold. So I don't know who bought it. I don't know if this guy bought it or whatever, but somehow it made its way back to me, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, that
And
seems like...
now I have to figure out how to like operate it because my dad always drove it, and I just sat there and I didn't really pay that much attention.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna figure out the motor, the engine, all that
I was
shit.
gonna say it's a motorboat. Yeah.
I have to figure out how to drive my car with it, towing it, which is not going to be easy.
Well, you can't do any worse than I did with the U-Haul when we were driving to Boston.
Yeah.
I think I crashed that thing twice.
Yeah, I do believe in Ghost Dog. I do believe in Ghost Dog.
Oh, Ghost Dog, he's over here. Come here, Ghost Dog.
See, that's a ghost. See, I believe in some supernatural.
So yeah, the first 2 days of my 46th year on this planet, I hung out with a rock star and I bought my dad's old boat.
Not a bad start at all.
Yeah, you set the bar pretty high for the rest of the year.
It's settled down in the past couple days. Although I still don't have my car back. It's still in the shop.
Yeah.
Andrew wants to know if Stickman's still around, but you moved away from Stickman, right?
What?
Andrew wanted to know if Stickman was still around, but you moved away from
Yeah,
Stickman.
no, I moved. I'm not there anymore. I ran into one of my neighbors like in January. I went into a bar to pick up food, and there was one of the neighbors was there, and I was talking to her, and I think she said that he finally backed off after 5 years.
Okay.
Or maybe the girl moved away. I forgot what she told me, but she said it wasn't really an issue anymore.
Okay, so there's no more Stickman.
Yeah.
You could have, Jay. That's another documentary you could do. You have a lot of documentary ideas. There.
Yeah,
Stickman and
a
Ghost
whole
Dog,
series.
like-
I could do a
Yeah.
30 for 30 on Weird Brink stories.
You'll be the new Ken Burns.
Yeah. All right. So thanks for listening, everybody. thebrinkofsanity@gmail.com is our email. Patreon.com/thebrinkofsanity. If you type in Brink of Sanity on Kickstarter, you could see our upcoming game. You could follow that and if you
Right.
like
If
what you
people
see.
contribute to the Patreon, can you give them a ride on your boat?
What's that?
If people contribute to the Patreon, will you give them a ride on your boat?
Only if they bring cantaloupe.
Okay.
No, watermelon. I don't like cantaloupe. Watermelon.
Andrew said this Halloween we should dress up as Brink stories.
We should dress up as your card game.
I could dress up as the card game.
Yeah, you should dress up as the card game. Actually, that would be good for Halloween. That would be good marketing.
You could do a bunch of black beans covered with ants.
It's true.
You could do somebody could dress up as black mold.
Be a black cloud that follows Jay around.
I don't have the black cloud anymore. I've been telling you this for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, my
The
black
black
cloud's
cloud's gonna find your address though.
I don't think so. I think we're past that. All right, I know you got to go play some pickleball.
I know. It's lame, but that's what I'm doing.
All right. Thanks for
bad.
listening. Show next week, guys. Maybe
I will go with maybe.
TBD.
Yeah.
My kids
Possibly, yeah.
come back from camp next week. So, would you do earlier in the week, like Monday?
Quick turnaround, huh?
Well, my kids come back Wednesday, so I think it's gonna be harder after the rest of the week.
Right.
I think I can.
Monday or Tuesday, yeah. Oh, Tuesday's
Yeah,
your
and
stupid pickleball again, huh?
No, actually, Tuesday we're seeing a Billy Joel cover band. That's our last night before the kids come home.
Jesus Christ.
Whatever.
All right, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Thanks.
I can do
Thanks for
Sunday
listening.
night also if you guys want to do Sunday night. That's quite a quick turnaround. Shit has to happen for us to talk about.
Yeah, it's probably a little too quick. But
Yeah.
we'll figure it out.
Okay.
All right, goodbye, buddy.
Okay, I'm gonna run.
Goodbye, everybody. It's over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end. Say goodbye. I'm gonna leave you. It's the end. Goodbye. Goodbye. Just leave me alone. Feels so good to say goodbye. I'm sick and tired of saying goodbye. Goodbye, girl. Goodbye, everybody.
What? Oh.
All right. We did it.
My wife wants to know when the next game night is. She wants. She says she's gonna play, but she won't.
Okay. Probably. What is today? The 8th. I'm gonna try and do one towards the end of the month. Maybe like
Okay.
the 20, whatever Thursday is in the 20s.
You think you're gonna go to Randy's when she has that poker game?
No,
What?
probably not.
No.
Well, the problem is it's so hard for me to get to her place.
Is it?
Without
Yeah.
without a car, and my wife doesn't like poker, so like I'd be taking public transportation, and like we're talking like 2 hours each way for me. So
'Cause I was thinking I'd come to your house and go with you. It's too much of a pain.
I mean, if you wanted to drive from my place, that wouldn't be that bad.
If you know the way, I mean.
I do know the way. Or we could take public transportation. It's like
Yeah.
with somebody, it's not as bad. Like doing that
Yeah.
alone sucks.
She didn't even say when it was going to be yet, but it was something I was kind of interested in.
All right, we'll play it by ear.
Yeah.
If it even happens, we'll.
Yeah.
I'll let you know if I hear anything.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to shut down the live room. So thanks for joining everybody, and we'll be